Hey everybody, Omar here, the Knife Shark Guy, and I am back with another knife review for you today. And today we're going to be taking a look at the Zero Tolerance 393 Hinderer KVT ball bearing G10 with CPM 20CV knife from Zero Tolerance and Rick Hinderer. Now, this knife has been on my radar for quite a while. I have decided to sell my Zero Tolerance 0562 carbon fiber knife in favor of this. It was a really hard thing for me to do, but I did it anyway. Knife collections do change from time to time, and that's basically what's happening here. So let's get right into it. So this is one of the brand new knives from Zero Tolerance. I have two knives from Zero Tolerance. I also have the Zero Tolerance R.J. Martin Design 609 knife, which I picked up about 4 months ago. I've actually done that video. I think it's probably over about 1,000 hits now on YouTube for this particular knife, simply because when I first got it, I actually got it 2 or 3 days after the knife was released. This knife, on the other hand, was a little bit harder of a sell for me. It took me a while to come around to getting this. But in any case, since this knife is out, let's go ahead and do some size comparisons. So this is the Zero Tolerance 0609, which is a medium-sized knife, as you can see. And how about, let's put it up against one of my all-time favorite knives, and I'm sure everybody else's favorite knife, is the Chris Reeve Sebenza 21. And for even more comparison, how about we put it up against another discontinued Zero Tolerance? How about the Zero Tolerance 0900? So as you can see, this is a very large size knife. One of the reasons that this knife had been released was because a lot of people probably missed out on the 0392 knife, which is, this is sort of a scaled down version of that. The Zero Tolerance 0392 knife had much more thicker titanium than what you see here. It had no G10 on it like this knife has. It was just a much thicker knife, and the biggest disappointment for most knife people like us was that it was a limited edition, and it actually cost probably double the price of this knife right here. So seeing the popularity of that limited edition knife, Rick Hinderer and Zero Tolerance decided to release a production version of that same knife and scale it down and added some other features to it. One of the biggest features that they've added on the knife was the G10 handles on it, on both sides. That was one of the main features. Another main feature of this knife is the fact that it is fully customizable. You could probably go to the Rick Hinderer website and get maybe a different color filler tab on it, maybe a different color pivot on there instead of the black color pivot. You could probably get blue standoffs for the knife as well. Pretty much whatever you want. You can customize this knife to whatever you like. One of the things that makes this knife really attractive is the fact that it's completely open construction, as you can see. The only thing that is that they have on this knife that's keeping it together are the two standoffs right there. There's no way to pinch this knife or break it in any way. This thing is as solid as a rock, like most Zero Tolerance knives are. The jimping on the knife is very, very aggressive. Absolutely a fantastic joy to have in your hand. This knife actually melds right in your hand. There are no hot spots. Even the pocket clip, you don't even feel it. The pocket clip, however, in my opinion, is one of the things they do need to work on. The fact that this part of the knife would stick up in your pocket, this much would stick out of your pocket, probably for me, and I'm sure for many of you, isn't really something that we would like to have. If you're going to have a pocket clip, most of us prefer the deep pocket carry clip, which is probably what I think you should have done on that knife. Other than that, the finger grooves on the knife make it feel really good. It's got CPM 20CV steel with two-tone finish. You've got the black DLC coating up at the top, which has both negative and positives to that. One of the really good things about DLC coating is that it protects the blade underneath. The bad thing about DLC coating is that it gets scratched up. It doesn't look so good aesthetically. On top of that, it's got this really nice sort of satin finish down here at the bottom by where the knife has a slicing part, and then over here by the belly there's this sort of really cool beveled divider here you can see right there. Give it nice contrast for the belly. It has really good belly right there, which I kind of like. Plus I like the fact they actually separated that, so when you see that, kind of gives it a really cool 3D effect. And then of course there's the top part up here, again another kind of beveled look up there to give it that 3D look. Really very attractive. Again, it's made with M20 CV steel, no problems there. That is a super steel. And there's the markings on the knife. 0393 Hinderer design, made in the USA, CPM 20 CV, and I have serial number 1195. So in this particular version of the knife, which is just how it comes in the box, because you can see it's fairly plain. I think they did that on purpose because they're probably letting you know that you can customize this knife to whatever you like. For now, I'm going to keep mine as is. The knife, as far as the action goes, it is very smooth. Super smooth. I mean, I have no problems. You can see it practically falls shut with a slight jerking motion. With that KVT ball bearing system in there, really just makes it super cool action on that. Really love it. And the jimping on the knife is very aggressive. It's got like this very aggressive jimping up here. I mean, if you could see it in the light right there, really looks attractive and very functional. The one of the complaints about the zero tolerance 0562 was that you could not flip the knife using the thumb studs, because on the 0562 carbon fiber, the thumb studs were not actually thumb studs, they were actually blade stops. But here's the thing, I think Rick Hinderer heard everybody when they were complaining about that, so he actually spaced out the blade stop, which is what these are. They spaced them out a little bit so you can actually flick them out and use them as thumb studs, even though they're blade stops. So there you go right there. So as you can see, here's one of the confusing things about it. As you can see, there is a stop bar in the knife right there, but that's not what's stopping the knife from going up in this direction. What's stopping it are these blade stops right there. So even if this stop pin wasn't there, you wouldn't, the knife would not, wouldn't travel upward because of the blade stops that are stopping that from happening. So let's go ahead and take a look at the specs on this. So the specs on this knife, first of all, as we said, the knife is made in the USA. It does have a KVT ball bearing system. It's a flipper knife as well. I forgot to mention that. And the flipper on this is sort of push button. So you just push it and the knife shoots out. It's got reversible pocket clip, tip up, left, right, tip up. So there's your pocket clip. You can adjust this and flip it over to the other side if you wish. The titanium, it's got a titanium frame lock with a hardened steel lock bar insert. The handle is blue anodized titanium with machine G10 overlay. The blade length on this knife, 3.5 inches. The blade thickness on here is at 0.156 inches from the top of the spine all the way down. So that would be the thickness there. The closed length on this knife is 4.75 inches, and the overall length of the knife is 8.25 inches. Finally, the weight is at about 5 ounces. All the specs that you hear me shouting out are directly from the Zero Tolerance website. So there you have it. The Zero Tolerance 0393 by Rick Hinderer. I forgot to mention it's got a harpoon. The blade shape on this knife is harpoon spanto blade, which is something that Rick Hinderer is very famous for using. But in any case, once again, yeah, there you have it. the Zero Tolerance 0393 by Rick Hinderer and Zero Tolerance. Definitely worth the money. Pick this guy up for yourself because it's an absolute beautiful piece to have. I can personally say in my collection. I hope a lot of you guys will find it to be the same. One of the things about Zero Tolerance, they don't really release very many knives. When they do, you can tell you're going to be happy with it. There are very few knives made by Zero Tolerance people aren't happy with. Simply because they only release very few new releases every year. Who knows why? But that's just pretty much how the company operates. But they do, in short, do try to satisfy everyone out there. And they do, of course, put most of their emphasis on the quality of their knives. So really can't say anything other than, you know, they need to start releasing more knives. In any case, this is Omar, the Knife Shark Guy, signing off once again with another Zero Tolerance knife here. I will be re-reviewing this again for use in my next video, letting you know how it functions as an overall user knife and carrying knife. I'll be doing that video next time. So until then, this is Omar, the Knife Shark Guy, hoping you will find happiness in your next piece of sharp art. And once again, please, if you like what I do, leave your comments on my channel. Please comment. I'd love to hear anything you guys have to say about this knife, whether you own this knife, whether you have anything interesting to say about the knife, if you already own it. So far, I'm a new user in this piece, so really can't wait to hear from you guys. Keep in mind, when you do comment, you're actually helping me out to do better videos and find out what more I need to talk about when I do my reviews. But since this is just an official unboxing review, going over the specs, you know, like I said, I'll be doing the real review at a later date. So once again, this is Omar, the Knife Shark Guy, signing off, hoping that you'll find happiness in your next piece of sharp art. And for all you guys, have a great day.